I hope people understand that they can contact me. You know, you make your own communication with your own angel. Make your life maybe smoother sometimes. You know, you can do it yourself. You really, really can. It's a true blessing. Go to the website. Contact me. It's easy. You and all your loved ones are always in my prayers. Hello, welcome to the Daisy Show. My name's Sam Bell. Daisy is my guardian angel. She's on the right-hand side. You can't see her or feel her. And I have a rapport with Daisy. And what I do is function as a conduit to the other side to bring information for individuals to learn their lessons with the least amount of pain. So I'm just a connection to the other side for information that guardian angels, specifically guardian angels, your single messenger who's on your right-hand side, everyone has a guardian angel, to communicate with my guardian angel, Daisy, and I have a very good, I have a rapport with Daisy. So it goes from thoughts in your mind, in your lessons where you are today, right now, to your guardian angel. So your thought forms which you hold inside your brain between your ears resonated a bajillion different frequencies that create the memory of whatever thought you're holding. And then that is influenced by your attention, your willpower, and your unconditional love, those resonances. And they go from something like electrical, chemical, biological, fluid, gases, differentially permeable membranes, billions and billions and billions and billions, all orchestrated, working on their own that make you stay a certain temperature. All of these orbiting particles are coordinated to keep you with hydration and digestion, respiration. It's a big deal. And then you multiply all of that many times with willpower, something that's unique. So, a guardian angel, your guardian angel communicates with Daisy, Daisy communicates with me to bring spiritual information to different people. And if you're listening to it and I'm describing someone that sounds like you, maybe the suggestions that Daisy brings through will address issues that you're learning lessons on, spiritual lessons that you charted before you incarnated. Earth is a school. Let's get that out there right away. Earth is a school. That's why you're here. You're supposed to learn about unconditional love for yourself and others, not judging yourself and not judging others. It's the whole thing. You can judge people's actions. Yes, you can't judge their soul. You don't know the story, the big story, till you get to the other side. Your guardian angel does. So, knocking the door will open. So today I'm going to be doing 3 people that you'll know. 3 people on the planet, 3 individual souls, 3 sparks of the divine, all male, who are in themselves, in their heart chakra, learning their lessons. And as their consciousness elevates, moves forward, resonates at a higher frequency with greater quantities of willpower, greater quantities of ability to focus, and abilities to manifest unconditional love for others. 3 people. First person is Mark Zuckerberg. He's $85 billion and change. That's Mark Zuckerberg. This would be a spiritual channel from his guardian angel to Daisy to me, and this would be for public information, not personal, private information. And I will be honest. Next is Jeff Bezos, he's $151 billion. Mr. Bezos, hello, Mr. Bezos. And then on last will be Mr. Bill Gates, who's 111 billion. 111. So Mark's 85. Then it's Jeff, 151. Jeff's got twice as much bread as Mark Zuckerberg, Mr. Bezos. And then Bill Gates is behind Jeff. So the richest guy is Jeff. The next richest is Bill. And the guy with the least money, $85 billion. That's the guy with the least money, $85 billion. Mr. Zuckerberg. Hello, Mr. Zuckerberg. So, my goal is not to violate or be disrespectful to anybody. My goal is to bring information forwards for each of you individually. How now other people interpret this, that's up to them. So no disrespect to you, Mark, Jeff, or Bill. No disrespect to you. And I'm speaking to you from your guardian angel to Daisy. I'm not speaking to the public who sees an electronic, image that's been repeatedly, plastered into their brain. Okay? So, so first one is Mark Zuckerberg. Mark Zuckerberg. Mark, very nice to meet you. This is not how you perceive yourself. This is not how others perceive you. This is how Divine Source made you. It doesn't make you good. It doesn't make you bad. It's just the way you are. No judgment whatsoever. You are not better than Hitler. You are not worse than Lord Buddha. And I will tell you the important things first. Now, these are things that will help you learn your spiritual lessons that you charted for this incarnation on this planet. Okay, Mark? Lessons that you wanted to learn, and so you sat down before you incarnated on the other side. You sat down and said, I want to learn this. I want to learn this. I want to learn this. And in heaven, it's really easy to identify what you want to learn because it's really nice. It's really, really nice there. So it's easy to underestimate or overestimate what the 3D reality on the planet is like when you're charting it on the other side. Then when you get here, you forget the whole thing, right? You actually, you write it down and make an agreement with a lot of these other beings you're with, and then you sign it. It's like a spiritual contract that you're going to learn these lessons. It doesn't say exactly when or how or who. It doesn't say that. It's just that, the cosmos says, well, he's in 5th grade now, he's going to be in 6th grade next year, after that be 7th grade, 8th grade, junior high. You're going to learn all your stuff in there somewhere. When exactly these things, we don't know. Mark, it never stops. That keeps going. You're the youngest guy. Young guy. So the first thing in this school for you, Mr. Mark Zuckerberg, is you really, 6 reallys is a max to be normal, really. So slight, mildly outside normal. Mildly outside normal. Try to please. Try to please. Okay? 6 is the max and be normal. Slight is, this rare space because there's not many people that try it really hard, And then you're mild, which means you're further out there and, some space trying to please. So that's the first thing. So no matter what I say from here on, it's built on that. That is what you have charted. You're going to try to please, baby. Okay? Next thing, about half the time, you really, 6 is the max of being normal, like to please. About half the time you max like to please. Now you try mildly outside normal, but half the time you like max. So you like to please and try to please. Okay? No disrespect. I think about I have a dog, Petey. He's a terrier, a little black dog. And he likes to chew the ball, and I gave one of my short socks that you use for tennis or whatever. And he's just gone nuts with this thing. He's thrown up there, he's just gone nuts with it. So he just enjoys doing it. So that's you, Mark. Try to please like a nut and just like to please max normal. About half the time. Okay? So it's like a super fine meal. Sunday brunch is just like nuclear. That's half the time. Then the other half of the time, you really, slightly outside normal, like to please. So half the time you like to please max normal, and then the other, there's 50% left, 25% of that is you slightly outside of that. Like to please. So you have the qualities to be, try to please like a total nut job, and like to please like a total nut job, or you downshift, slow to 90, and you try to please like a nut job, and like to please max for a normal person. So it's like, and I don't. So that's the design of the physical suit of flesh that your mind, soul is inhabiting right now, Mark. Okay, and all these little components that are making up your toes to your nose, these subatomic particles are all orchestrated according to that master plan. Seriously, I'm not kidding. Okay, well that leaves 25%. You get 50% and 25%. There's 25% left there. Okay, so the most important thing is you try to please like a nut. And then the second most important thing is you like to please like a nut. Okay? Now, it's kind of like my first wife wanted to buy me a nice gift, Deborah, very lovely woman. And she asked my younger brother to go with her to the knife store to buy me a hunting knife. So he brought her to Town and Country Village, and she went in, and the case and everything's shiny, and they don't want to sell stuff. Everything's kind of nothing's cheap. And my brother picked out a fine Gerber knife, which is perfect for trout and perfect for mammals. And I wasn't there, and he handed it to her, and my brother said that she took it out, and she took her finger and went, shh. It just got this big cut, So it goes from, it's so cool, everything's so nice, so you can be that way sometimes, Mark. Okay, you can be like, sorry, off of his head. Okay? So it's so concealed. It's so concealed in this trying to please, liking to please perfectly, honestly, naturally, that there's this whack in a component that's there, that's a survival component on the intellectual thought form, time management, reproduction, security, doing the right thing. human being, 2020, June. So, because it's so concealed and it's so not like the other try to please, like to please, it's like, you know, for people that don't understand that the reality is you need negative reinforcers if you're going to move forwards on this planet. You need positive reinforcers and negative reinforcers. If you were a giant pussy, you wouldn't be where you are, sir. You need to use those negative reinforcers. Thank God you have exceptional communication skills. You know, you're not doing anything incorrect communication-wise. Your oral speech, your natural speech and language, the resonances, the thought forms that you send out almost are as good as your listening skills. Your listening skills are like superior. Okay, that's auditory memory for the sounds that are coming in, the duration of the memory for those specific sounds that are attached to the thought forms you're putting together, attached to the sounds. So you're exceptional. You're exceptional. So it's a blessing that you have a potent negative reinforcer available, and that you use your communication skills to navigate the incredible test that you're in. Okay? So, your communication skills are the ball game, sir. Mark. All right, it's your communication skills that make what's going on work. This mechanism and the thoughts coming out for you. All right, so that's the zone. And I'm a speech path, speech and language pathologist. I'm like, yeah, now, okay, everything I said is like, you know, I don't know, prime rib and mashed potatoes and gravy. For me, that's what I like, man, prime rib. Maybe outside cut, you know. And, but the dessert's pretty important, so I won't fill up on the prime rib and mashed potatoes or whatever. I want to leave space for the dessert because it's always going to be something good. You know, who knows? Like a raspberry, you know, cobbler with vanilla ice cream or something. Ooh. So the dessert's really important, even though it's not a big plate of food. The dessert's really important, and the dessert comes after the meal. So right now you're in the middle of a huge meal. Okay, huge meal. Okay. The dessert is the experiences that allow you to learn unconditional love and application of your willpower and your ability to focus. That's where your dessert is. Because that dessert stays a long time, you know, onto the past life. And onto future incarnations. If you incarnate on Earth, you might not incarnate on Earth. You know, it's up to you. It depends what lessons you chart. You might, I don't know, depends. You don't really know till you get to the other side, the big story. You don't really know. So, for you it's a big test because you're not a business guy. Okay, you're not a business guy. You're just a really nice guy. You know, right time and right place or whatever, I don't know. But I'm just saying you're really inside. You're a really, really nice guy. And in fact, you're one of really nice, easy to get along guy. You're especially really, 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 really slight, mild, spiritual. Okay? Okay, now this is more important than money or whatever, because this is long term. You're like mildly outside normal spiritual. But you're stuck because you got to bring yourself down to hang out in this 3D plane. It's like, it's not good, you know, because you're so spiritual. It's like, you know, it's like trying to be a monk at a In-N-Out Burger parking lot. You know, it's like trying to be a monk and going to meditative state in In-N-Out Burger parking lot. It's not going to happen. So it's a huge, ginormous struggle, and So that is the struggle for you, you know, because you try to please, like to please. You're just an incredibly loving person, really loving person, super loving person, unconditional love, for all the right reasons, you know. You're trying to please, you're liking to please. It's like, you know, and you're not greedy about it, you know. And you need to go to battle, you'll have a sword, you'll pull out your sword, and you'll dick with somebody, you'll dick with them. You know what I mean? And when you have powerful positives and powerful negatives, $85 billion, your consciousness is carried down to all of the persons on the planet. All right, so for persons that are listening, including if you're married, I think you're married, right? Or if you have children, you marry your children, you tell them, say a prayer for Daddy, that he learns all his lessons with the least amount of pain. And for all the viewers, include Mr. Zuckerberg, Mark Zuckerberg, in your prayers, that he learns all his lessons with the least amount of pain. And because he's having, it's not easy being so spiritual as he in Silicon Valley. It isn't. He's trying to do the right things. He's definitely trying to do the right things. Okay, now suggestion, you open for a suggestion. Okay, now, I'm speaking to you, Mark, okay? Right now you make a lot of time just for yourself. Okay, whatever your image is, I don't care. I'm saying you make a lot of time just for yourself. Okay, compared to, you know, everybody else running around like rats on the planet. Rats and terriers. Don't change. Do not change. Do not change. Okay? Make more time for yourself. Make more time for yourself. Okay? So don't change. You want to make more time for yourself. Okay? Do that. Then your tolerance for the BS will improve. Your personal tolerance for all the people that are functioning on pure greed, that are attacking you because you're just like a, you know, piece of cheese in a fish pond. They won't bother you. And then what you do is your choice. Okay, your own choice. Your own personal choice. It's okay. All right? And then what will happen is you'll have more time for yourself. Your frequencies will go up. And then you'll soon find that your resonances, your inner feelings, your feelings about yourself and your loved ones, what you think about yourself and your loved ones, what you actually sense in your heart about yourself and your loved ones, and what you know your willpower is, what you've done with your willpower, and lastly, what you love that you've applied in your decisions. Your consciousness will help a lot of people and you. All right? It's okay. You can think Dalai Lama stuff really seriously. No joke. All right? Because you've already built this platform of time for yourself. You've already have this basic structure. Okay? All right, Mark, you and all your loved ones are always in my prayers. If you'd like additional information, we can always speak, of course. Okay. I make reference to a book. It's Mabel Beatty, Man Made Perfect, and Mabel had a good rapport with her guardian angel. Excuse me for bumping the camera. And I'll just read a portion here. And she's talking about how that anything can be carried to a perversion. And then it becomes an uncontrollable habit, and then it carries through incarnations. You come into the incarnation, you have this terrible habit you had before. The last 7 incarnations, you know, it's like, an obstacle in moving forward and treating yourself and others as unconditional love, not doing stuff to others that you wouldn't like done to yourself. It's really not complicated because we're all one. We're all one. We're all one. Okay, inner space is far greater than outer space. All right, you came from frequencies within you, within the DNA. Okay, and when you pass on, you leave your suit of flesh. It becomes, soil, and then you go to the other side. Your willpower, ability, focus, and unconditional love go to the other side. Those are three things you're not going to be able to cut out and put on the table. There's a piece of my willpower. There's a piece of my unconditional love. How I want a quarter cup of my unconditional love. It's not going to happen. Those are the things you had before you were born, and you had after you will take with you. Okay. So she's talking about how things can get into perversion. And then she says, but the soul, which is steadfastly turns towards the light, is soon helped by those whose vibrations are able to be contacted. The soul becomes aware of its angel guide and helpers, and in due course is definitely taken in hand, trained, tested, and given such initiations as it may be capable of passing. Later, in its experience, it is able to become aware of its real greatness. The little bit is rendered completely aware of its big soul, and enlightenment is accomplished. The giving of a spirit name is a very great advantage on the path. The gift of discipleship follows almost at once, and in the kingdom, and once the soul is accepted in as a disciple, there is joy in the kingdom of heaven, as your Master Jesus said, over him that turneth homeward. The prodigal son is received into Father's house. Here there is no returning to the lower life of the senses. The soul has caught a glimpse of reality, and all other things are small in comparison to this wonderful recovery of lost sonship. From this point, the growth of the soul in the hidden gifts is very speedy, and in due course the soul leaves the earth plane, never to return unless for special work. So I'd say, Mark, this is kind of in your ball game, right there. All right. You're young. You got everybody focused. A lot of people are saying prayers for you, I'm sure. I know I'm including you in my prayers. Okay, next. Well, let's see who comes up next. We'll do it that way. There's Mark Zuckerberg. Goodbye, Mr. Bill Gates. Okay, Mr. Gates. Hello, Bill. Very nice to meet you. Bill, this is not how you perceive yourself. This is not how others perceive you. This is how Source made you. It doesn't make you good. It doesn't make you bad. It's just the way you are. There's no judgment whatsoever. You're not better than Hitler. You're not worse than Lord Buddha. And I will tell you the important things first. Now, Bill, you probably listened to the first one. So basically, this is information that's coming from your guardian angel that's available publicly, that's public information. I won't say something that's private to you. I won't reveal anything that's private to the public. Okay, this is general information that's for you first, and then the public afterwards, if they're going to go where you're going, because this is a private reading for you. Semi-private. So your guardian angel's been with you at your right-hand side your entire incarnation. They've seen the stuff you've been through, where you're going, where you're at, and they probably can see what's going to happen. And they're not going to influence you. That's not their job. They're a messenger. So they're sharing information with Daisy, my guardian angel. Daisy's sharing information with me telepathically. I'm clairsentient. So this is spiritual information that will help you learn your lessons with the least amount of pain. And let me just say that that's the intention. That's the intention. So that intention is coming from Sam Bell. That's coming out from my heart chakra. I'm reaching out to my guardian angel to say, please, please, I petition that you act as a messenger to the guardian angel of Bill Gates and bring forward information that I'll be able to be infused with the thought forms that I could put into speech thought forms. You know, oscillating air particles will create the right thoughts, concepts in your mind that will help you direct towards deciding what actions you take in learning your spiritual lessons with the least amount of pain. Okay? All right, so okay, first thing, you got one speed, Bill. What you see is what you get. You're not complicated. You got one speed. You have one speed, Bill. You are not complicated. What you see is what you get. You really, 6 releases is a max speed normal, really, so it's slightly outside normal. Mildly outside normal. Moderately outside normal. Moderately outside normal. Okay? After moderate is profound, but people can't comprehend moderate anyway, so why say profound? Okay? So this is the first thing. You really, 6 releases is the maximum normal, really, slightly, mildly, moderately outside normal, intelligent. Intelligent. Moderately outside normal, intelligent. That's how God made you. That's how Source, intelligent. Does it make you good? Does it make you bad? You don't get up in the bed in the morning and go, oh, I'm going to be intelligent today. I'm going to try to be intelligent. You don't do that. You're naturally that way. That's how Source made you. Bang. Okay? So that's kind of like the difference between, you know, hedge clippers and a, you know, electric lawnmower. You know, they both cut stuff, but one's totally different. You can't do one with the other. Okay? So you're going to fit in very well with people that are mildly outside normal, intelligent also. You will. You'll feel very well. Individuals that say 90 to 110, it's not going to feel comfortable. And below 90, it's going to be like, you know, there's better things I can do in my reality. Okay, so the first thing, you're really moderately outside normal, intelligent. That's the first thing. So no matter what, that's not going away. Okay, so your charted lessons are said, I'm going to become retarded. No, I did that twice before. You can be deafblind. No, I did that too. That was a max. I learned a lot about that. But you can be this time, I'm going to be profoundly intelligent. Okay, you sure? Yeah, I do. Okay, so that's the first thing you charted. And that's going to bring certain lessons that are going to be synchronized with a whole bunch of other people. People you don't know. You know, you'll never see. So that's the first thing. Next thing, I'm just going to cover both at the same time. You really. So it's slight, mild, moderate. No. Really. 6 is the max to be normal. So you're high normal. You're high normal. The next thing, you're high normal. Thank God, something's normal. High normal. Like to please and try to please. Like to please and try to please. like to please, and try to please. So first thing, you smart as, you know, and then the next thing, you like to please and try to please. Evenly balanced. Like to please and try to please. Like to please and try to please. That's the entire ballgame for you. People out there, they think he's greedy or trying to kill you or something. He's not. His intentions in his heart, he's liking to please and he's trying to please. At least that's what I pick up from Daisy, that's coming from his guardian angel, that's making my heart say that he's a very loving, loving, loving guy. Bill, I'm sorry the world's dumping on you. Okay. So, it's, I can't say, well, let me just say, I want to say he has no issues with control. Okay, he has no issues with control. Okay? Because he's so elite, you're so smart and above everything, right? You don't have to try to control stuff. I mean, you just don't place yourself in space that is not already happening the way you want it. I mean, you're smarter than everybody else. So when you're putting stuff together, a lot of people can't figure out what the hell you're doing. Okay? Because you're so smart. Hello, congratulations, thank God somebody's getting stuff run. Now, okay, so tries to please like a nut. Correction. He's got one speed. You got one speed. You like to please, you try to please. No issues with control, and just super brilliant. Okay, that's the meatballs and the spaghetti for dinner tonight. That's it. You know, maybe garlic bread and Caesar salad, some red wine. So, I gave the example to Mark just prior to you, Bill, that Mark's, you know, really mellow likes the guy, but then he'll whack him if he has to. That 25% of a portion, he needs to whack him, he'll whack him. You don't have that whack apart. Okay, you don't have that whack apart. So you're kind of like, oh, I would say wise as a serpent, and that you're, you know, you don't have boxing gloves. You don't want to get in a fight with something. You know what I mean? You're just trying to stay away from problems. You know, and try to do the right thing. Hello, that's where, you know, want to do, like to, want to, like to, right? Brilliant. You're trying to help. You are literally trying to help. Want to, like to, want to help. You honestly, honestly, honestly want to help. Like to help. Trying to do the right thing. And no issues with control. That's anybody's perceived, because everybody's like, oh, Bill Gates. You know, is this raisin big enough? No, we need Bill Gates. Get the biggest raisins for his brand. Right? He's like, all right. So that's $111 billion. $111 billion. Now, because this is public, I can do relative to stuff, because you probably watch the Mark one. See, what Mark does is he really wants to get into, you know, fifth, sixth dimension and chill, you know, want to see off-planet entities and hang out with avatars. But he's bringing himself down for the crap that he's going through. Right? He's always, it's horrible, right? That's not you. That's not you. You're very spiritual, but you're continuing to be more and more and more and more and more and more. Just say more, a whole bunch spiritual. Okay, but it's not rapidly. But you started off very spiritual to start off with. For this incarnation, you're probably a monk or something, your last incarnation. God knows. God does know too. So, very spiritual soul. You are a very spiritual soul, which means you have unconditional love for yourself and unconditional love for others. It's not something you're working on. You already have that. You're just going more and more into it in this incarnation, trying to do the right thing for humanity, for your brothers and sisters, for everybody. Because you're smarter than everybody. And you have the, the energy connected to the circuitry for the language functioning that you exhibit. Thoughts are things. Thoughts are things. Everything that you've produced, blah, 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 was a thought. You started that thought. And then now it's a thing. You're not a spear. You're not the spear point. You're the tip of the spear point for conceptual growth and spirituality, which is pretty cool. It's kind of too bad you get the bad rap. I mean, but that's the challenge of it. You don't see the big picture till you get to the other side. You don't see the big picture of the other side. You don't. Nobody does, because there's the school. This is the lesson. Okay. So it's quite possible for me to say now, Samuel Joseph Bell, to say independent of Daisy, I don't really know about abortion. I'm not a woman, I don't really know. My inclination is probably not, I don't know, I believe that my understanding is that the soul enters at about between 7 and 8 months. Other than that, it doesn't need to be in there. It's kind of boring. So, before the soul enters, it's not, an entity, a being, Could be. It's the free will of the entity. Seriously, it's free will of the entity, of you. So, addressing issues on the planet today with consciousness and your communication skills and your strength and the power that you have can elevate consciousness on the planet. And so the growth of let me back up. You're the point of the spear going in the right direction. Okay, you're the one who's going in the right direction. Your leadership we're blessed to have your leadership. And we're blessed that you're rich so that you can help people go forwards on that. Just very, very powerful. Very, very powerful. So you're not doing anything wrong. No off the mark intentions. And you're brilliant. So thank goodness you're out there doing your best. Now, about suggestions. Well, first I'm going to say thank you, Bill. Doing your reading and having your guardian angel share this information helped clear up some of my own personal misconceptions. The suggestion is, A, you're not doing anything wrong. You're already making time for yourself and your loved ones. That's literally the most important thing. So your values are correct for your children, your wife, your loved ones. You love them with unconditional love. And from that growth of loving them, they love Daddy, they love you. That's the reality of everyone else on the planet. So because you hold that in your heart, you can understand when somebody says, my mother died or my father died, or, the baby died or whatever. Just because you're super intelligent doesn't mean you have feelings. Feelings and intelligence are two different things. So, first the suggestion is don't change. Okay? Now, second thing is, because you're not doing anything wrong. Despite whatever the hell everybody's yelling about, you're not doing anything wrong. The only suggestion I can give is Don't try any harder. Don't try any harder. Okay, you're highly brilliant, you're highly smart, highly intelligent, right? Super powerful brain. Okay, so when you try really hard, it will make the ability to completely relax and go within be a greater distance unless you do repetitive, consistent meditation hardcore. Repetitive meditation hardcore. Okay? Because you're just one person. You're just one person. This number, 111 billion, means nothing. Your soul. You get to the other side, nobody's going to ask, how much money did you have? No one's ever going to ask you that in heaven. They'll ask you, Bill, who did you love and how did you love them? All the people that were impacted by your unconditional loving acts, seeing you smile and the things that you've done, the people you've helped, their life's been impacted. So that's the legacy that we all have on the other side. So the suggestion is, don't try so hard, okay? Don't try so hard. Okay. Because it would infringe on the people that you love and yourself, the love for yourself, okay? Take your time and your energy and take a little, a little paring knife and peel off a little piece for you, for Daddy, for Bill, for Daddy, to be with his kids, to be with his grandkids. Really important, I'm telling you, baby. Now, again, same rule applied to Mark. You got a lot of bread, you help other people, elevate consciousness. Right now it's kind of a critical time because the population has been in trauma, lockdown, the virus, etc. And then we've had civil disturbances on a global basis like never before, at the same time that the lockdown is supposed to occur with the masks and the 6-foot distancing. And we've had additional trauma with being locked down. People aren't, normal population isn't used to being locked down. So it's traumatic. And with the episode of the trauma results with the people who are traumatized to have memories implanted that don't go away. It's like when the planes hit 9/11, they said Osama bin Laden in the planes, and now, years, decades later, everybody knows that, blah, 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 we blew up a country and it was fake and it was an inside job, but nobody's like, we don't know. It's because of the trauma. Well, we're just in the backside of a bunch of trauma. We had a bunch of imprints, consciousness imprints on the poor people. People that, would like to have $111. So your consciousness elevates, which it is constantly. I brought it up right away that you started off before other incarnation and you continue. But as your consciousness elevates, you have this camera, you have the media, you have the screen, you have the bread, everybody's going, the money. But they have the focus on you. Their minds are aimed at you. And because you have that rapport, ability to get concepts into the viewer's minds, you can share concepts, you can do actions that are not dissimilar to the Dalai Lama. Really. It's like the Western Dalai Lama. It's a school, or it's a school. So you're highly elevated, so you're not in the high school, You're not in grad school. You're not postdoctorate. You're way the hell out somewhere, God knows where, in intelligence. And also in spirituality and consciousness. Your consciousness, Sir Bill, the truth, your consciousness impacts a lot of people. And as the population in general go away from greed and towards recognizing there's a sharing of substances on the planet that all the people use to survive on, and our bodies are made up of. And we're kind of like are all one in this big soup. We got to take care of one another. As people comprehend this, angelic beings will reach down. And you're just leading people spiritually towards angelic individuals who come and help. Like I read about in the book. The giving of a spirit name is a very great advance on the path. The gift of discipleship follows almost at once, and once the soul is accepted as a disciple, there is joy in the kingdom of heaven. As your Master Jesus said, over him that turneth homeward, the prodigal son is received into his Father's house. Here there is no returning to the lower life of the senses. The soul, your soul, the soul of your children, the soul of all your loved ones. The soul has caught a glimpse of reality, and all other things are small in comparison to this wonderful recovery of the lost sonship. You are actually part of divinity, bro. No joke. Inside your heart chakra, it's a little teeny piece of divinity. From this point, the growth of the soul in the hidden gifts is very speedy, and in due course, the soul leaves the earth plane in due course. In due course, the soul leaves the earth plane, never to return unless for special work, which I wouldn't be surprised if you came back doing special work. That's what you're cut out to do. Okay, so you're not doing anything wrong, super spiritual, like to please, try to please, no greed, zero greed. Zero greed. Viewers, Mr. Gates has zero greed. And all the right reasons. A very loving person. So the only suggestion is allow yourself to continue on the path. Don't try so hard. And what will happen, entities from the other side, literally spiritual entities, will will be more responsive to your prayers. Let me say it that way. They'll be more responsive to your prayers. Okay, it'd be like filling a cup of water from Niagara Falls. Yes, it's all you want. Because we're talking source energies. And you've got the cameras on you. You can demonstrate unconditional loving acts. People will understand while we're still in the, quote, trauma period. Oh, look. Well, we can't get Washington, D.C. to do something right. We can't get the public to do something right. Oh, look. Mr. Gates, oh, interesting. Oh. And you have your name, your personality, the goals that you have integrated into your life. You have the opportunity to share spiritual healing messages to people at all different levels. Use that. That's a suggestion. Use that. So don't change. Just use the media to get intelligent. Each person become more intelligent and incorporate enhanced consciousness. I think you probably do meditate already, so I don't need to suggest for you to meditate. I wouldn't be surprised if you meditate. Okay, Bill, you and all your loved ones are always in my prayers. Okay, next on the hit list. Hello, Mr. Bezos. Jeff Bezos. He's the big daddy. He's king of the hill. $151 billion. $151 billion. Wow. That's a lot of bread. Hello, Mr. Bezos. Samuel Bell, this is information that I claim is from your guardian angel to my guardian angel, Daisy, and Daisy's telepathically trying to get it into me, Sam Bell. I'm a clairsentient. So take it for what it's worth, my friend. Okay, I'm going to be completely honest. Also, this is information that I will share. This is public information. It's not something to encourage or discourage anything, but to help you learn your lessons with the least amount of pain. So Jeff, this is not how you perceive yourself. This is not how others perceive you. This is how Divine Source made you. It doesn't make you good. It doesn't make you bad. It's just the way you are. There's no judgment whatsoever. You're not better than Hitler. You're not worse than Lord Buddha. And I will tell you the important things first. First thing, you really, 6 releases is back to be normal, really, so you're profoundly outside normal. Try to please. Okay? Try to please. You really. 6 is the maximum in being normal. Slight, mild, moderate, profound. You're profoundly, moderate, it's beyond comprehension, but try to please. That's the first thing. Try to please, 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 try to please. Like a choo-choo train. Thomas the Train, my grandson's little boy. Yeah, Thomas the Train. That's always the zone. Major. First thing. Greatest quantity of Jeff is try to please. Next thing, well, you have, I used to have a pickup, it had a granny gear, and then it had first, second, and third. And sometimes you take off a granny gear, you go first, second, and third, right? Anyway, the granny gear is like really slow. You could drive uphill. 3/4 ton GMC truck. Well, you've got 3 different speeds of liking to please. Okay? You have 3 different speeds of liking to please. Now, trying to please, you're just profound, crazy nut out of the ballpark. In liking to please, about 50% of the time, you really mid-normal. This is the max of your normal. So you're really mid-normal. Like to please. About 50% of the time, you like to please, mid-normal. Try like a nut, but you like to about half the time, mid-normal. And about, that leaves 50%. 50% is mid-normal, likes to please. So the other 50%, about 10% is low normal, low normal. So it's like, you don't really care to please, and I don't really give a shit in terms of liking to please. Not trying, liking to please. And that leaves 40%, because you got 50, 10, 40 left, with really, don't fuck with me, I'll fuck with you. In liking to please. So it's not liking to please, it's the reverse of liking to please. It's really 6. Don't fuck with me, I'll fuck with you. Negatory. So it's kind of like, you see these Thai kickboxers, the thing, the wrapped on their arm, they get the thing in their head, and the guy's kicking him in the belly, and they're punching him in the head, and then, that's what you're like. A total warrior. Total warrior. And I'm not saying greedy, I'm not saying evil, I'm saying warrior. Warrior, baby. Warrior. With a smile. Okay, in liking to please. Like, not trying. Trying, you're just going to try no matter what. To max, profound. So, it's kind of like a really nice Colt revolver, you know, pistol grips or something, you know, really pretty one, a cowboy pistol. And it's, you know, it's beautiful and it's like, ooh, dangerous. Dangerous too. But it's so beautiful, at least from my perspective, it's just a beautiful thing. But it's also dangerous. So that's the mountain that the soul is trying to climb up and climb down in this incarnation for Jeff Bezos. Jeff, that's what you're going through in this incarnation. You're climbing up this mountain and you're climbing down the other side. And you're doing it with the person who's tries to please like a total nut and really doesn't like to please, and sometimes will fuck with you if you fuck with them. So that brings certain lessons into your incarnation. Okay, these are powerful big time lessons. These are powerful big time lessons. These are not really lessons that many people can chart because of the extremes. All right? Because of the extremes. So, now, well, you know, what I said is, some people may interpret it as, well, he'll fuck with me. Well, yeah, he will fuck with you. You're going to fuck with him, he will fuck with you. Hello? That's how things happen. That's how the globe gets stuff delivered. You know, you pick up the phone and you go in I want Kleenex. It shows up at your door. Planet-wise. Unbelievable. So, now, that wouldn't have happened if you didn't have the guerrilla tactics that you're bred to have, that are composed in your physical vehicle to go get them and whack them. You're gonna make it happen. Cyclone fence isn't gonna stop you. You're gonna climb over it right now to get in your private jet or whatever. Seriously. So, now because this is public, I make comparisons. Now I talked about Mark. Mark's really a really good guy. I mean, it's actually really spiritual, but he's bringing himself down because, you know, to be in the 3D world, you're exactly the same way, but a hell of a lot worse. Okay? Actually, you're super spiritual. Super spiritual. Super spiritual. People go, what? Jeff Bezos? Yeah, super spiritual. However, the trying to please, I had to say however, Jeff, because that's the way it goes. Okay, that's kind of important. You're super spiritual. However, the people you're trying to please, because I said you try like a nut, are the people that are the closest to you. Okay? You're pleasing the public, but it's easy for you to elevate the consciousness. Correction, it could be easier for you to elevate your consciousness because you're already so spiritual and do the same thing that I'm suggesting to Bill and Mark, to use your status and your camera time to not change, still be the mean son of a bitch, get it done right and try your hardest to get it there on time. And allow the spirituality that you have. You're more spiritual than any of these other guys, believe it or not. People are like, what? Yeah, you are, big time. The energy is energy. Everything is powered by, all these resonances that make everything formed, matter and everything, are powered by unconditional love. And every subatomic particle knows exactly what to do. So, now, I said, you're more spiritual than these other people. You're like, oh, okay, yeah, you are. It's kind of like, and then you're diving off a higher diving board. You're diving off a higher diving board into a smaller pool, faster. So, because you're so spiritual, the way it works is, Mr. Bezos, the more loving you are, the more difficult your life is going to be. I'm speaking to you, Jeff. The more loving you are, the more difficult your life is going to be. You happen to be a very loving person. The lesson that you are facing now is to broaden the encatchment group of the people that you love. So you try to please especially the people that you love around you, but there are additionally more people that are watching you on television, are the recipients of the services that you provide, that are going to be saying prayers for you and all your loved ones for strength and healing. And that all persons elevate their consciousness in sharing, and the focal point of Amazon to deliver items, foods, whatever, electronic media, whatever, nutrition, hydration, vitamins, minerals, everything, to deliver it to individuals at a reasonable cost and make everything function is a very honorable task. You're spiritual and you're trying to make an honorable event occur. So the more loving you are, the more difficult your life is. So you're a very spiritual person. Use your suggestion is use your status to enhance consciousness on your screen time. So when people are looking at the thought form image that's being created by the visual and auditory electronic stimulants coming through the tube or their iPad or their iPhone, that they're going to appreciate that Mr. Jeff Bezos is doing spiritual acts to enhance consciousness, because you have the energy to do it. You have the spiritual energy, and I would assume you have financial resources with 151 billion. Okay, that's my spiritual financial joke. I don't have many. Okay, so to back up, we got a person that no evil intentions. He will dick with you if you dick with him. He just tries to please like a nut job. Very spiritual. And he's kind of frustrated because down here he makes things happen, and in the process of making things happen, it brings him down out of his spiritual zone. Okay, and he does things which make it more difficult for others, and he's not doing it on purpose. He's just trying to make his path go forwards, which may be the most functional path. People don't need to drive all over town to find a certain item. Don't have to use petroleum products to get certain items. It's very it's a big deal, because what happens is, just very briefly, the oxygen content in the air we breathe goes up, and that makes the brain part of your physical vehicle, the brain part of your body, work a lot better. You can even do an experiment if you want, see what happens. Okay, so suggestion is the path you're on is just the way it's working out. Okay, nothing would work if you changed. It'd all collapse. So just enhance your metaphysical, spiritual inclination on screen time, and do make some additional displays of generosity that make something grow in a positive way, rather than just giving money to somebody. Produce some sort of functioning product that can be produced, or service that could go on for generations. And life will get a lot easier because you won't get so involved in everything. You've backed away from the whole thing because only you're going to back away from it. You don't have, time doesn't grow on trees. You're not going to have a longer lifetime. The stress that you're in is big time. Stress is not good. You know the whole story about the stress stuff, right? Make sure, you know, your physical, you'll age rapidly. So it gets the stress out of the way. And then what happens, it just broadens those that are in your catchment group of you love unconditionally. That's all that happens. You broaden the people that you love, the numbers of people that you truly love with your open heart, with your very spiritual loving heart. And then things just get a lot easier for everybody. Mr. Bezos. Okay, you and all your loved ones are always in my prayers. And special thanks to Mr. Gates, Mr. Bezos, and Mr. Zuckerberg. You specifically are always in my prayers, and I say to the audience, say a prayer for yourselves and include these gentlemen. Prayers work. All right. You and all your loved ones are always in my prayers. Bye-bye.